Hey there, quirky folks. I hope your January is going really well. Things have been great in the TV department with Peacemaker, Superman, and Lois, and the Book of Boba Fett so far.
You were all once captains under Jabba the Hutt.
I'm here to make a proposal that's mutually beneficial.
Meanwhile, the 355 came out in theaters. I admit that the movie department hasn't really been as good, but I've got some good news for the next month. There's some amazing content headed our way in February. The likes of Peacemaker, Superman and Lois, and Snowpiercer will obviously continue throughout the month. But we're also going to look at the new movies and TV shows that will premiere in the second month of 2022. To start things off, we'll get Raised by Wolves Season 2.
If you pretend to be something long enough.
This dark sci-fi series was one of the first original projects that HBO Max had to offer us back in 2020. Travis Fimmel played the antagonist going up against a deadly necromancer. And now, Season 2 will continue the journeys of the champion and the two androids who act as his mother and father. These three, along with 5 other children, will join a newly formed atheistic colony in Kepler-22b's mysterious tropical zone. But navigating this strange society is only the beginning of their troubles. Mother's natural child will threaten to drive what little remains of the human race to extinction in this Ridley Scott-produced series. Season 2 will drop its first episode on February 3rd. It will be followed by the theatrical release of Jackass Forever.
What will Jackass be like once we're older? Well, it'll get more mature.
Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, and the rest of the gang return for the 4th round of the Jackass franchise. We're getting this installment roughly 12 years after Jackass 3D, which came out all the way back in 2010. So, fans of the franchise should be excited because the jokes are going to be 12 times funnier this time around. Or at least I hope so.
Texas rat snake.
Venomous?
Jackass Forever arrives on February 4th. And on the same day, we will also get Lionsgate's big budget flick, Moonfall.
This planet has suffered 5 extinctions.
Patrick Wilson and Halle Berry will feature in this film along with Game of Thrones' John Bradley. The premise of Moonfall is quite interesting, as Earth's moon will literally be knocked from its orbit by an unknown force. And as the title of the film suggests, we'll get to witness the moon falling towards the Earth, threatening the entire planet and its life forms. But when all hopes are lost, Halle Berry's character Jacinda Fowler will team up with Patrick Wilson and John Bradley to save humanity. It is a visually stunning movie, but people are presuming that it will fail at the box office in this pandemic era. Let's hope that Moonfall will prove everyone wrong and actually turn out to be good. Up next, we'll get to see Blacklight.
What bad stuff do you do?
Breaking and entering. Physical coercion.
Old man Liam Neeson finally returns to the action movie genre. He plays Travis Block, a freelance operative who worked as the government's literal hitman. But when he decides to retire, the corrupt director of the FBI gets his granddaughter kidnapped. And now he'll hunt down the people responsible for the misdeed. So basically, this is yet another rendition of Neeson's Taken franchise with a few twists here and there. Still, we can't really complain as it is Liam Neeson doing what he does best. On the same day, Netflix will give us Tall Girl 2.
Tall girl that you go to school with?
Would you maybe wanna...
Well, that's me.
The previous film turned out to be an unlikely hit for Netflix. And now Tall Girl 2 will pick up after the events of the first film with Jodie Crayman dealing with her newfound popularity. But now, her miscommunications will start causing rifts with those around her, so she'd really need to stand tall. That's what she does best, given her natural height that is 6 feet 2 inches. It will be interesting to see how she tackles the events of the sequel. Surprisingly, on the same day, Netflix is also releasing an exciting French movie called Big Bug.
On aurait juste fallu attendre 45 ans de plus.
On les a créés, Onyx, pour qu'ils nous facilitent la vie.
It is one of the most anticipated movies of February 2022. Set in the year 2050, this film will show us how humans will be locked in their homes, while an AI wages war using robots. Let's wait and see how the human race manages to survive in this odd-looking sci-fi thriller. February 11th is going to be a huge day for movies because it will also bring us Death on the Nile.
Have you ever loved so much?
Kenneth Branagh and Gal Gadot will star in a mystery murder, which has been repeatedly delayed for more than a year now. It features some great actors like Ali Fazal and Letitia Wright. Since Armie Hammer is also a part of the film, Disney kept pushing its release to get away from Hammer's controversies. But still, they had to release it sometime. Now let's hope that Hammer's presence will not bog down the sequel to Murder on the Orient Express. Who do you think is the murderer in this one? Let us know in the comments. But before that, check out these other films and shows too. On February 18th, we will get the biggest movie of the month, that is, Uncharted.
Hey kid, a little young for a bartender, aren't you?
A little old for prom, aren't you?
Tom Holland is playing a young Nathan Drake in this action-packed movie inspired by the popular video game series. Mark Wahlberg is playing Sully. This story is actually a prequel to the game showing us how Drake came to meet and befriend Sully. It was helmed by Venom director Ruben Fleischer, and we really hope that this video game-based movie will turn into a hit franchise for Sony. Fans of Tom Holland might just visit theaters to watch him again after Spider-Man No Way Home. On the same day, Channing Tatum is going to star in a small-budget movie called Dog.
Come on, man. You know how many times I've been in and out of this gate with that? Excuse me? What's the odds on ISIS? Step out of the vehicle, sir. You want me to step out the vehicle?
He will play an army ranger named Briggs and try to tame an untamable dog. We're gonna see a crazy journey where Briggs and the dog will drive each other mad while Briggs tries to go to his friend's funeral down the Pacific coast. But ultimately, these two are probably going to become great buddies. Up next, Netflix is bringing us the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This horror franchise has been in the mainstream for decades. And now director David Blue Garcia will bring the horrifying character Leatherface back after 50 years of hiding. This movie is about a group of teens traveling to Harlow, Texas to start a new business, but they'll be intercepted by the murderous Leatherface. Netflix's horror slasher film will arrive on February 18th, and on the same day, Netflix will also release Space Force Season 2.
Maybe it could be more... Take off... Don't corner me into saying something offensive, please.
The first season of this office-style sci-fi comedy came out back in 2020. It wasn't a huge hit, but it probably did well enough to make Netflix greenlight Season 2. Now, Steve Carell is returning with John Malkovich, and hopefully the show will turn things around this time. Or else we're sure that Netflix will cancel it after Season 2. But the show that we are really excited about is Vikings Valhalla.
You captained your boat all the way from Greenland.
The original Viking series ended with its Season 6 at the end of 2020. It was a satisfactory ending, but Netflix will be bringing us a spin-off sequel series on February 25th. It is set 100 years after the original. By this time, the familiar names of Ragnar Lothbrok, Bjorn Ironside, and Ivar the Boneless will have become legends. And we're also going to follow some new Viking characters who try to continue with the ways of the old gods in the new world. For the last project of the month, I'm going to talk about Picard Season 2.
All this time, I've come to wonder, have you been seeking or running?
Sir Patrick Stewart returned to the scene of Star Trek back in 2020 in his Picard series on Prime Video. And now 2 years later, we're getting the second season of the hit series. We are yet to get an official release date, but Picard Season 2 will definitely arrive in February. Which of these projects are you excited about? Tell us about your choices in the comments. Hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Also, don't forget to check out some more fun content on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!